Yesterday, the European Commission proposed to create a new facility for Ukraine within the budget of the European Union. It will ensure constant financial support till 2027. The facility will be financed in 3 ways: with grants from the European budget, with loans raised on capital markets, and eventually with proceeds from the immobilized Russian assets. We will come with a proposal for these assets before the summer break because the perpetrator has to be held accountable. Yesterday...
So here we go again. Ursula von der Leyen, an elected EU official, basically saying that they're going to use Russian assets, Russian money, to pay for the reconstruction of Ukraine. So we're going to steal money from Russia and we're going to give it to Ukraine because we are Robin Hood, right? And then they'll use it to reconstruct. Then she also confirmed that they will be using funds from the European Union given as a grant to Ukraine. Ukraine is not part of the European Union, but they're going to get grants to reconstruct Ukraine. When did they ask the European people if they want to spend their money, their pocket money basically, the money collected for them through taxes, to pay for the reconstruction of Ukraine? She's unelected, but she's making decisions for everyone in the European Union to take the money, okay, the hard-earned money, and use it to reconstruct Ukraine. And then she also say that they'll use loans, so they'll give credit to Ukraine, which they'll have to pay back in the future. Most probably not this generation, maybe not the next generation, maybe the grandchildren of this generation will have to pay for those loans. So that's many years paying for a loan for a construction. Many countries that entered the European Union, they did not improve economically. In fact, they have an outflow of individuals that left the country and they went to Northern Europe to work because the working conditions are better. They earn more money and they have a better life in the north. Many of them returned home, but many of them stayed. So the European Union itself is not in a position or in a good position to provide all this. Just like United Kingdom, as explained in my previous video, they are struggling. People in the EU are struggling. So thanks to EU funds, the price of gas and electricity is kept at a very low price. So the European Union is paying gas and electric companies money every month, every year, to ensure that they don't lose profits by selling the gas at a cheaper price, which means that they're still making money. But the European Union is subsidizing that increase in the food of gas and electricity. Some countries like Portugal and Spain, they receive a special treatment just to ensure that their population do not spend the winter without gas or electricity. Because if that happens, if the Spaniards or the Portuguese have to pay 30% or 70% more for the cost of the energy, they won't be able to survive. Even with that, they still are struggling. These sanctions, they're affecting all the European countries. And even though they want to sanction Russia all the way, European countries like Spain, they continue purchasing gas from Russia. If it's not directly, they do it indirectly through China and India, which they buy discounted Russian gas, which is the price the European Union used to get before. Now China and India are getting Russian gas for the same price the Europeans were getting it from Russia. What they're doing, they increase the price and they sell it at market price, which is the market price pretty much imposed by the Americans. And then the Europeans, they put more sanctions. One of them is a cap on the price of oil, Russian oil, which affects oil in the whole world. Russia is part of OPEC Plus, in which you have big exporting countries like Saudi Arabia, which decided that they won't follow those sanctions. They won't follow the price cap. And they even decided to reduce production of oil and gas to ensure that the price is kept high. So Russia is still making more money than before just because of the increase in the price. But the consumers, which are the European citizens, they are paying more money for something they used to get a very low price before compared to the price today. So who elected this person and why she is making decisions on behalf of everyone living in the European Union? Did she even ask people if they actually want to do this? If it is a democracy that promotes democracy, don't you think that she should be asking people if they actually want her to use the taxpayer money to finance the reconstruction of Ukraine and to ensure that the sanctions is still in place so they can live a more expensive life that they cannot afford? We'll continue
informing you.